Hello children. Today we will enjoy the beauty of underwater world through this new chapter Eugenie and the sharks. Are you scared about the word sharks or curious? What do you think would the connection between the girl and the sharks be? Children, let me tell you that this is not a fantasy story. This story is about a scientist named Eugenie Clark who was famous for her efforts to protect sharks and other marine animals. The story traces her journey from a little girl with eyes full of dreams to a young and confident woman who achieved her goals. To know more about her journey, let's read the story. Little Eugenie loved spending time at the city aquarium. Aquarium is a place where live fish are kept in glass tanks for display. She loved the smell of the salty and damp air and watched her favorite animals for hours, the sharks. Damp means a little wet. She always wondered what would it be like to swim with them and breathe underwater with gills of my own. Gills means organs through which fish and other water creatures breathe. As a little child, Eugenie loved to watch the sharks in the tanks. She found them extremely interesting animals. She spent her time looking at the fish because she loved sea animals. She also wanted to have gills like them and swim in the ocean. People around Eugenie felt that sharks were ugly and scary, but she knew they were interesting creatures. She decided to learn everything about all kinds of sharks: tiger sharks, whale sharks, lemon sharks, and nurse sharks. She even joined an aquarium society to learn more about them. How was Eugenie different from other people? Eugenie was different because most people thought sharks were ugly and dangerous creatures. But she thought they were interesting. What were the different kinds of sharks she wished to study? She decided to learn everything about all kinds of sharks and joined an aquarium society to learn about them. Aquarium society is a place where people discuss fish and ways to protect them. There were tiger sharks. Tiger sharks are the fourth largest sharks in the world. Whale sharks, the largest known fish species. Lemon sharks, shallow water sharks that move from one place to another. And nurse sharks, sharks that spend a lot of time resting at the bottom of the sea. One day, Eugenie's mother surprised her with an aquarium of her own. The tank was too small for sharks but had clownfish, coral red snails, and guppies in it. It felt like a big ocean in her room. Eugenie spent all her time looking at the fish. Her mother noted her fascination for fish and gifted her an aquarium. There were small fish like the clownfish, coral red snails, and guppies in it. Clownfish is a kind of fish that lives in salt water. Coral red snails are kinds of sea snails, and guppies are freshwater aquarium fish. The fish tank was small, but it seemed like a big ocean for Eugenie. Children, what does it tell us about her mother? It tells us that she was a wise mother who encouraged her daughter's fascination for marine life. Eugenie's aquarium had different kinds of fish, but it did not have sharks. Why? Sharks are too big to be kept in aquariums. As Eugenie grew older, she decided she would study to become a scientist. But her professors thought that women were not smart enough to become scientists. They also said that she would not be able to explore the oceans because women were not courageous. People around her thought sharks were mindless killers. They asked her to forget about them and take up a different job. Professors means teachers at colleges and universities. Mindless means without thinking. But Eugenie did not listen to any of them. All day long, she read and studied how fish behaved and grew in different conditions. She became one of the smartest students in her class. She also learned scuba diving as she wanted to dive deep into the oceans. Scuba diving is a sport of swimming underwater with special breathing materials. Why did her professors discourage Eugenie when she wanted to study about sharks? They said women were not clever enough to be scientists or brave enough to explore the ocean. They also thought sharks were dangerous. The people around her told her that sharks were mindless killers and she should forget about them and take up a different job. Children, were Eugenie's professors correct in thinking so? I think that the professors were completely wrong in thinking so. It is not correct to think in this way because girls and boys are equally good and talented. And girls should have the freedom to study whatever they wish to and be whatever they want to be. No one should tell girls what they should do or should not do. And to achieve anything, we must work hard. We must not get discouraged if people around us do not encourage our efforts. How did Eugenie prepare to achieve her ambition? She studied how fish grew and behaved in different conditions. She also learned scuba diving to dive deep into the ocean. Eugenie wanted to discover things on her own. After working very hard, she finally got a chance to explore the Red Sea. Red Sea is a sea located between Asia and Africa. She collected hundreds of fish from there. She even found 3 new species of fish. Fish which had not been seen before. Species mean a type or group of animals or plants of the same kind. After this, she went to explore waters around the Palau Islands. Palau Islands in an island country located in the Pacific Ocean. Here, she encountered a wild shark. Eugenie could not believe her eyes. The shark did not scare her at all. She thought it was beautiful. What was significant in her research in the Red Sea? She discovered 3 new species of fish. What was special about her exploration around the Palau Island? When she was exploring the depths of the sea, she saw a wild shark. She was excited to see it and thrilled to perceive that it was not dangerous. And she was happy to realize that she was not scared of the huge fish. In fact, she loved them so much that she wanted to save them from being killed. With time, people started appreciating Eugenie for her work. They realized how fearless she was. Appreciating means understanding how good someone is at something and respecting them for that. Eugenie proved that she was clever enough to be a scientist. She also showed everyone how brave she was to explore the oceans all alone. But Eugenie's work was not over. She wanted to protect sharks from dangerous human activities. Sharks were being hunted all over the world as many people believed they were dangerous. She wanted to prove everyone wrong and end the hunting of sharks. One day, Eugenie thought, can I train a shark just the way a dog can be trained? Will they be smart enough to understand? And they were. Eugenie became the first scientist in the world to train sharks. She even proved that they could remember their training for almost 2 months. Why did people appreciate her research? They found that she was clever enough to make several discoveries about marine life, and also that she was brave enough to be among sharks. Was Eugenie satisfied with her achievements? No, she was not satisfied. She wanted to save sharks from being killed by proving they were not dangerous. How did she manage to do that? She did it by training them as one would train dogs. She even showed that sharks could remember their training for nearly 2 months. Eugenie showed the world that sharks were not mindless killers. She dreamed that soon people would love and protect them. Eugenie's dream came true as people slowly realized the importance of protecting sharks. Today, there are many shark conservation groups in the world which work toward the protection of sharks. Conservation means protection. So, children, what did she prove about the sharks? That they were intelligent creatures, not mindless killers. How has her dream come true? Today, there are conservation groups that work towards protecting sharks from being killed mindlessly. Children, this short biography of Eugenie Clark tells us that the scientist was not only clever and intelligent, but she was also very determined. She did not listen to what people had to say and only followed her dreams. Her love for sharks made her realize how important they were to the world, and so she decided to protect them from dangerous human activities. Eugenie and her remarkable story is extremely inspiring for people who want to make their wishes come true but do not get the confidence to do so because of other people's lack of faith in them. So, what do we learn from the story? We should be kind to animals and we should have faith in ourselves. We should follow our dreams and try to fulfill them. I hope you enjoyed the story. Now read it once more from your Gulmohar literature book for better understanding. Be ready with your queries. We will discuss them in the online class tomorrow. Thank you.